Hey, horror fans. Once again, it is me, the Horror Miser, Monty G, trying to review the latest movie in A Quiet Place film series. It is the prequel, A Quiet Place Day One.
Y'all ready for this?
Hey, horror fans. Once again, it is me, the Horror Miser, Monty G. Now, A Quiet Place Day One is a 2024 American apocalyptic horror film that was written and directed by Michael Sarnowski. The film stars Lupita Nyong'o, Joseph Quinn, Alex Wolff, and Demon Hunsu. Now, in this film, a woman named Sam finds herself trapped in New York City during the early stages of an invasion by alien creatures with ultra-sensitive hearing. You have to stay quiet if you want to survive. When the post-apocalyptic horror film A Quiet Place was released in 2018, no one predicted it would set the horror world on fire. I mean, it just came out of nowhere and bam! I know. I believe it was one of my top horror films of the year. I mean, it had a very interesting premise as we see the Abbott family trying to survive in a world where blind, hostile aliens have invaded the planet, basically took over, who hunt by sound. So the whole world had to go silent in order to survive. I mean, in the beginning of the film, we actually see the Abbott family trying to scavenge whatever resources that they have because their son is sick. And to start it off with a bang, their youngest son is snatched and killed by those aliens. Like, wow, this film is pulling no punches. Now, the film starred the husband and wife team of John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, and was directed by Krasinski, and was praised by critics and horror fans alike. And the film made over 134 million in the box office worldwide, so it's a very successful hit. Of course, no surprise, the sequel, A Quiet Place 2, was released in 2021. It got delayed because of the COVID pandemic, and it shows what happens to the Abbotts moments after the events of the first film happened. I won't reveal what happened, but I'm pretty sure most people know what happened in the first film. And that film grossed over $297 million worldwide and had one of the biggest opening weekends during the COVID-19 pandemic. So the film, despite the pandemic, was very successfully made because we all wanted to see what's going to happen to the family as we saw in the first film. So while a third and final film is set to be released sometime next year, yes, it has been greenlit, I'm sure plenty of horror fans and myself would like to know how other parts of the world learn how to survive by staying silent. You know, how did they survive? Did they do the same things what the Abbotts did? What did they do? How do we know about that? We only saw a few brief moments of what other people or how society acted in the second film, but what happened on day one? We only got a glimpse of that also in the second film. That was part with the Abbott family when we actually saw the meteorites striking down and how they attacked that town that they lived in. But we don't know what happened to the rest of the world. So, American film director Michael Sarnowski, who actually directed the film Pig that starred Nicolas Cage, brings us his entry into the series. It's a prequel called A Quiet Place Day One. Yes. Now, we're introduced to Samira, better known as Sam, a terminally ill cancer patient who lives in a hospice in New York City with her cat named Frodo. Someone must be a Lord of the Rings fan. Now, while in Manhattan during a field trip, Sam and the group see the meteor-like object falling from the sky, and then all of a sudden, the hostile aliens start attacking everyone in sight. Now, after learning that the aliens attack anything by sound, I do mean anything, Sam and the other survivors try their best to stay quiet and hope they can find a way to escape this nightmare that they found themselves in. That's basically what this film is about. Now, being that this place in New York City, I thought it was a great idea to actually show a major city as opposed to what we saw in the first two films. We get to see a major city, how they react, how they would survive. And I thought it was a great choice for them to actually show it in an urban setting instead of somewhere out in the rural country. Now, the one thing you can count on in this film series are the intense and frightening moments, as the slightest noise can make the aliens appear and attack viciously and without mercy. They don't care what it is. They're going to seriously fuck you up. I mean, just when you think everything is safe and there is a moment's peace, something happens and then all hell breaks loose. There's one particular scene that happens in this particular film when everyone's trying to settle down. They're trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Then something happens. Next thing you know, bam! Just like John Krasinski did in the first two films, and the director Michael Cerensky also does a great job in setting the tone where the audience can't keep their eyes from what's happening on the screen. I mean, in the audience, I was sitting just like the first two films when I saw the audience sitting in here and no one made a sound. It's the same thing here. The audience is just glued on the screen and don't make a sound because you're just intense. Your eyes are fixated on the film. And I thought Michael did a great job in maintaining that type of tone and atmosphere for this film. Now, unlike the first film, and I would say much part of the second film, we actually have more people to deal with, and we get to see what happens when too many people gather around, and you know something bad is going to happen because we know what happens when you get a group of people together. Someone's going to make a noise, and unfortunately, that's going to spell disaster for everyone out there. And that you get to see that happen in the film. Now, Oscar-winning actress Lupita Nyong'o is wonderful as Sam. She plays her as a woman who seems to have given up on life due to her illness. She has a very bad attitude. We get to see in the beginning of the film, but she does show great heart and courage while trying to survive in this nightmare. Now, there is a destination that she wants to get to, and I think mainly because she knows that she's terminally ill and there's one last wish that she wants to have, and she's determined to live it. That might be a bit distracting for some, but I think it just adds more to her character, in my opinion, as opposed to my taking away from the film. But I thought that was a great aspect of the character because she's just determined to do this, and she goes through a lot, I would say, in this film. No, I love the chemistry that she has with English actor Joseph Quinn. I'm pretty sure remember him as Eddie from Stranger Things season 4, who plays law student Eric, who reluctantly follows Sam around the city. They have some nice tender moments together, especially during the nice time that they have at a bar where Sam's father used to play piano there. You can see at certain points the guy is just scared shitless. And while Sam may not be physically ready to do what they have to do, but they work in tandem together. And I think they really do have a nice bond. It's almost just as good as John and Emily Blunt had as the Ammons in the first two films. And of course, you can't forget about that awesome cat Frodo, who basically steals almost every moment he's in the film. He's such a nice, pretty cat, but he definitely is a focal point of the film. You can't go anywhere without seeing Frodo on the screen. Once again, the filmmakers have done a great job of making the aliens terrifying and frightening as they have before, even though we still really know not much about them. I'm pretty sure some people wanted to see a little bit more of an origin story. Where did they come from? How they get to Earth? I don't know if we'll ever get to that because it kind of is a moot point right now. All we know is that they're deadly, they're terrifying, they attack anything that the slightest sound. We know they can't swim. That's the only weakness that we know of, other than the obviously the piercing sound that we learned in the first two films. But I'm pretty sure we might get something of that when if the film gets made. But next year, we might some know more about these aliens. But right now, I would say this: they're probably the most terrifying aliens I've seen since the xenomorphs in Aliens. You hear that, Marty? I would love to see a battle between these aliens and the xenomorphs. Now, Sarnonsky and his team haven't added anything new or different to this particular film. Like I said before, I'm pretty sure a lot of people feel as though some of the tender moments have been kind of take away from the film, but I think they're added on in here. And some people might not say that they might be missing Emily Blunt because she's such a great actress, but I didn't get that part. And I think this is still a decent addition to the series, and I'm looking forward to seeing how John and the others will end the series next year. Because, like I said, there's going to be a final film. It's supposed to be released sometime next year. But I did enjoy this film. I thought it was a nice addition. It's not as great as the first two, but it is a nice prequel. So I'm going to give A Quiet Place Day 1 3 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. Like I said, not as good as the first two, but a decent entry. I actually thought the actors did a pretty good job. I thought the aliens were once again frightening. Kind of missed Deanja Hansu. I knew he was added in here because of his role in the second film. I wanted to see a little bit more of him in this particular film, but still, I enjoyed it. So there you have it, guys. That is my video and review of A Quiet Place Day 1. I hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up, like, and share because it really helps out with that YouTube algorithm. Have you seen A Quiet Place Day One? What do you thought about it? Please leave your comment in your comment section of the film till you thought about the film. Also, if you're new here, please hit that subscriber button, ring that notification bell. That way you'll be notified anytime when I put up new videos such as this one. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G. And always remember that horror rules. And I see you in my next video, like I say about there.